I arrived in Canberra by train. The dim glow of the railcar's lights illuminated my notebook as I sat and thought. My pen hovered just above the blank canvas, poised to strike. The ride itself was a drab affair, what with the endless white of the mountain snow choking the beauty of the otherwise green landscape. Being an author, I took this opportunity to continue my novel. It was the tale of a brave young man, Asher, a light in the darkness on his way to brighten up the world and destroy the shadow that hung over the kingdom. The dinging of the train's bell sounded our arrival in Canberra. I placed my notebook in my pouch. My sister, Karina, greeted me at the station, and we made our way out of the city to our late father's estate by the sea. It sat atop a cliff overlooking the ocean. It was a dark and suffocating place, rife with bad memories and old baggage. The last time I set foot in that place, I'd hoped to never return. Below the estate lie a small fishing village, nestled neatly in an outcropping just above sea level. A tumultuous storm quickly closed in. Clouds choked the skies. Torrential rain whipped in the fierce winds that shook the mansion. A thick fog hung in the air. It was unnatural, eerie. 3 days we were stuck inside. A silent uncomfortability permeated the stale air, building as each day passed. After the storm cleared, Oslo, Karina's butler and only companion since father's death, took it upon himself to travel to the village below to retrieve the weekly supply of fish and clams. The fog lingered down there, obscuring it from view. When he did not return that night, I decided to go looking. The mystery began to entice my imagination. My mind trailed off as I began my journey down the winding cliffside path. Asher stumbled upon a town in ruins. This was recent. The town was empty, save for a massive trail dug into the stone by something unfathomably large and heavy. He followed the trail to the lake nearby. The macabre, thrashing waters beckoned him. The answer to the town's ruin lay beneath. He took a deep breath and dove. His every nerve screamed in protest as he sank into the blackened waters. His heart pounded in fright as he descended. A massive shadow in the darkness approached, its hulking form blacker than the water surrounding it. Asher drew his blade. It burst to life. A bright yellow light emanated from it, illuminating the area. The bulk of the monstrosity hid from the glow of his sword. Its immense serpentine form dwarfed Asher. 6 massive, sinister eyes gazed back at him from the darkness. Jagged teeth glinted in the light, each as large as a man. Asher tightened his grip on his sword. He would not falter. This beast would not take any more lives, not while he yet lived. The beast coiled its body and sprung towards him. Its gaping maw displaced the murky water as it snapped shut around him. The glow of his sword snuffed out by its gnashing teeth. A sudden lightning strike in the distance wrenched my attention back to the road ahead. I was getting close. A solitary lightning strike would not dissuade me. The thick, dancing fog obscured the village, drowning it in its ever-shifting form. The silhouettes of the rooftop were barely visible, the dark shapes hid from the searching moonlight. I braced myself and strode into the fog. A sense of impending doom began to nag at me. Excitement turned to fear, and my blood turned cold. A shiver ran up my spine. The streets were empty. The putrid stench of the abandoned market assailed my nostrils. I quickened my pace. Up ahead, in the middle of the street, stood a hunched figure, the fog too thick and night too dark to make out any features. My heart thrummed in fear. I dashed into the alleyway to my left, every ounce of my being hoping beyond hope that whoever or whatever had not noticed me. To my utter dismay, the shadow began to shamble towards me. I sprinted back towards the path to the cliffs. Guttural moans bellowed through the empty streets, drowning out the ocean waves. Uneven footsteps pattered on the stone roads, drawn closer each moment. The village seemed endless as I fled. The cliff hung far in the distance, mocking me with every step. Soon, I was assailed by the shadows of the village people, the shapes twisted in unnatural ways. I continued running for what seemed an eternity. My legs began to tire. My lungs cried out in agony. Terror overtook me as the monstrosities closed in around me. My life had ended as quickly as it had begun. Now, an empty husk, I wander the streets, endlessly searching for the path that leads back home.